Okay, the game status. So today we will still have Rob out. He'll be questionable for the game with his groin. 2-2, we anticipate him. He'll be questionable for the game, but he's going to take part in individual, and then we'll see what that leaves for his game status. He has not cleared the full protocol quite yet. There's still some steps that he needs to be able to go through, and then we'll see where we're at if that's taken care of. I'm not sure. It's one of those deals that I'm genuinely, you're taking it a day at a time, with those soft tissues, with the groin. And so because he's such a veteran, you're definitely not going to run the risk of further, exposing him to maybe any sort of setback. But we're going to use all the time necessary to see if he's a go for us.
Would you anticipate Warren maybe being up just in case?
It's a possibility. I think it'll be probably an either Rob's going or he's not. But if there's something that you're in between on, you could potentially look at carrying 9 linemen. But I think we'd most likely go towards, hey, he's up and he's going, or he's not, and then that would elevate somebody like you mentioned.
Any reaction to Chargers moves today?
No, other than you just, you want to be there for your friend, and I also, know what a great coach he is and what he's meant to me, what I've learned from him. And, these are things that are really challenging. And I've grown up in this business, and there's a lot of tough things, but I know what a great coach he is. I know what I've seen from my own eyes, and I know that he's going to respond, and he's got a really bright future. And I've really, enjoyed getting to know Tom Telesco and have tremendous respect for the way he's handled himself and what he is in this business. And other than that, nothing but support for those guys. And you never take anything for granted. Right.
Whatnot. Your staff probably has some candidates for different jobs. Do you have to mentally? Do you just take those as they come, or do you kind of know this is going to be?
It's a good thing, Gary. I mean, really, here's the reality. I'm so grateful for a lot of the things that we've learned in the being in the 7th year. The people that I've been around, and especially we've had a lot of dialogue about just the different perspectives or things like that. And I love this team. I love where we're at. I love the opportunity that we have to still be able to play really meaningful football, and let's see if we can do that the right way. What I do know is, hey, when good things happen in your building, good opportunities come. Just like I was so fortunate and blessed, a handful of years ago to get this opportunity. And does it make you better collectively as a staff if you lose people? No. But is that what is probably the most gratifying when you take a step back and you see people get opportunities that are earned and deserved because of the way that they've positively poured into the players, myself, this building? Heck yeah. And so I do know that those things kind of have a way of taking care of themselves. And just like anything else, you do a good job in the role that you're in, and you want to be able to have opportunities for growth. Usually, you got to be great in that role, and then that gives you an opportunity. And that's as much motivation to do right for some of those people that I love and care about that might get opportunities, even if it would crush me to lose them. I would be so happy because of the love that I have for them and some of their goals and what that means for a job well done and in their roles here.
First question, Tyler Higbee, he's been trending up, but do you expect him to?
I do. Yep, he's trending up. He's done a good job, and he should be good to go.
And then pivoting, when you have assistant coaches, when you're gauging the landscape in May, June time of year, and you're thinking about that minimum players who could potentially add to the roster, what's the dialogue like with yourself, assistant coaches, between you guys and Sean McVay and Matt Waugh in terms of the level of communication that requires?
It's ongoing, especially when you're talking about a lot of these guys that have been incredibly beneficial, Jordan, when you're really looking at, all right, you get a chance to go through an off-season program, you're identifying and projecting, all right, where are some of these things that could really add based on their experiences? Where are they at health-wise, career-wise? What did their most recent exposure in terms of the tape look like? And so it's a true collaboration. And what's really helpful is those guys do a great job of diving deep, having a good feel for the landscape. And then what's also unique is so do we, because we're watching the film. Maybe it's through a different lens, schematically, game planning, but I have a much better feel for pro personnel than I do college draft, just because that's all you do. That's what you're doing throughout the year. And then, oh, by the way, when you get people that have exposure, to another big subset or, different conferences or different divisions, it's that much more beneficial. And I think when we're in constant communication and collaboration, that's when the best things occur.
John mentioned one of the helpful things is that when you guys are specifically when it comes to vet minimum guys, you're looking at different traits to fit in part to whole. The position coaches being able to communicate that. How important is that to you to have people on your staff that are able to do that?
Oh, it's huge. I think you have to have a vision for every player. And when you have a vision for how they fit, you're more invested in trying to see that come to fruition. And so, you have to obviously have some flexibility and agility as it relates to if it doesn't go down exactly the way that you want. But, that's part of our job is to be able to paint that picture, to make sure that, you're identifying where those holes, if you will, or different things that we can fill to try to be more complete in all three phases. And those guys have done a great job. John and Matt have done a great job. And I think the communication, the humility, and the ability to all just want to do the same thing, and that's try to help us be the best football team that we can be, in spite of some of the different parameters, especially as it relates to last year, is a real credit to those people that you're talking about.
What did you like about Puka during the pre-draft process?
Everything that you're seeing. I think the toughness, the aggressive hands, just the competitor. And you could see with a lot of the different things that he was asked to do, the football acumen and IQ you had to guess was really high before you even talked to him based on the versatility of his game. If we were to say that we knew he would be this good, then we would not have waited as long as we did. All right. But he's a stud. And a lot of those things but there was a vision for him, and I think that starts with, you look at his group, James Gladstone and the guys that are really identifying those receivers. And then you get Coach Yarber involved and Jake Peets and KJ Black and Mike LaFleur. And then there's a consistent love for a certain person and a real vision for how they fit. Man, that creates a buy-in, and when it was getting down to it, I might have choked Les out if we had missed out on Puka when we were waiting so long to be able to take him. But he's a stud. We're really grateful to have him. I think that was a reason why maybe he was available when he was, because there was consistent, after the draft, what's fun is you get a chance to talk to other staffs and where they like guys and different things like that. You guys, I don't know if you heard what Coach Harbaugh said about Puka Nacua, going into the draft. Like, everybody loved him, but there's certain things that you have to be able to weigh, and that certainly is a part of it. And it worked out for us that we got him here, and hopefully we'll do a good as job as we can of keeping him on the field, because we're a much better team when he's there. I just think the way that he's improved throughout, I think the curiosity, I think the route nuance. I mean, you really see there's an element of timing and feel on a handful of the routes, and he understands where he's fitting in these progressions and how that enables him to be able to speed up or, be a little bit more patient with specific routes, particularly as it relates to situational football, whether it's the third down or the red area. But his curiosity, his confidence that's been earned as a competitor, and then just the overall swag, when you apply it the right way with that humble approach, you're going to get better. And I think he's gotten better in every single phase. And he's playing through a lot of different things where, you're not feeling great because of the physical toll that he's taken through these 13 games. And, he's going to continue to be a big part of what we're doing, this month.
Does a lot of that come from like a Cooper Cup who he's in the room with all the time learning from?
I think so, Maria. And you hear him, one of the best things is what does he always mention to you guys when he's interviewed is he's always bringing it back to Cooper, to Matthew and the influence, and he wants to play for these guys, and he looks up to them and he reveres them so much. But, man, do they do such a really great job of pouring into them. And, when you can feel that authentic investment and wanting to really see people succeed and really caring about one another, that's when special things occur. And I think that's exactly what you're seeing from those leaders. And then obviously watching, a really fun story come to life as we're going to just continue to see this guy thrive and only get better. Okay? Thanks, guys.